Okay, so recently I went through the whole process of ordering and taking delivery of a Tesla Model 3. Leading up to and during the whole process, I watched a load of YouTube videos. Something I did have a little trouble finding were videos that were specific to the UK and that really went through the absolute basics of what happens when you order, all the way through to what happens when you collect, specifically for this situation that we currently find ourselves in. So this is what I wanted to put together, a full account of my experience from start to finish, from clicking the order button all the way through to my delivery day. For me, that was 1 day over 3 weeks, which was much quicker than I'd expected it to be. It didn't go completely smoothly along the way. There were a few surprises, and stick around to the end of the video because Tesla have changed a couple of the things on the Model 3 that I certainly wasn't aware of before picking it up. I only found out at the time I picked it up, so we'll go through those when we get to it. But for now, let's go back to the start. Okay, so this was all on a Tuesday that I placed the original order. Placing the order itself is very simple. I'd been through these steps, all except for the last one of actually pressing yes, I want this car, as I'm sure you have if you're considering getting a Tesla, to select all my options. So I went for the long range model. I went for the grey or midnight silver metallic. I paid the extra for the 19-inch sports wheels. Didn't need the tow hitch. I went for the white interior. I didn't pay the extra to have full self-drive. That's basically all the options. One thing I did reach out to Tesla to ask was, are the numbers that you see down here the final numbers that you'll pay? The answer is yes, they are. Obviously you can mess around with these, and you can also click on customize financing down here to get the full options that you have. Personally, I went for a personal contract hire over 36 months with 10,000 miles, not too dissimilar to this. But basically the numbers that you see there will be the numbers on your final financing agreement. I wasn't sure if they'd change or not once you apply for financing, but they don't. That is the final number. So from there, it's just a case of filling out your details and paying £100. That's it. That's all you need to do. You put your card details in here, and then your order is confirmed. Once you've put your order through, you'll get this hedgehog on the screen saying, "Thanks for ordering." I didn't know I still don't know what this hedgehog means, why it's there. I don't know if it's Elon Musk just likes the meme. So I did Google it to see if I could find out what this actually was. And apart from a few unhelpful Reddit threads that didn't really go into much detail, the only thing I found was that Tesla the Hedgehog is actually part of the Sonic universe. Who knew? And I mean, I was not aware that the Sonic universe went this deep, but I mean, fair play to them. They have done... He's got a backstory. He's, I mean... There's a lot of detail there. Read it in your own time. Anyway, once you've paid your £100 deposit from placing your order, you'll get an email confirmation saying yes, it's all gone through. You'll get a link to complete your Tesla account where you can now sign in, and you'll be asked to specify things such as setting your delivery location, sending in your driving license details for the car registration, and if applicable, applying for your financing. I did all of that as soon as possible, just because I wanted to get it all out of the way. I got confirmation that the finance application had been accepted the very same day. It takes maybe 2 days for that actually to filter through Tesla's systems and for that to appear on your account so that it says, please pay your deposit of X amount or your lump sum, depending on what you're doing with the financing. It gives you Tesla's bank account details, so their sort code and account number, and you just transfer that as you would a normal bank transfer. That process wasn't particularly easy with Santander, just because it's a larger than normal bank transfer amount. I had to phone them up and ensure that went through fine. I did ask Tesla for receipt of that, and I did get that both over email and in the Tesla account after a few days. So then at that point, when I logged into the Tesla account, There was nothing else left to do on the to-dos, and my estimated delivery date just showed as blank. Also, at this point, you're asked to download the Tesla app onto your phone. You can't really do anything with it at that point. I mean, you can sign in, and all you can do is watch video guides, and I think get support. There's nothing in there right now, so you need to do it at some point, but there's nothing in there for you right now. Now, I was so excited. One thing I forgot to do was use a referral code. I had one ready to use. I'd just been through that process so many times of like clicking each part, and then this time I knew I was ordering. I was so much excitement. I just went through, ordered, paid my £100 deposit. So I missed out on the 1,000 free supercharger miles. Straight away, I emailed the guy at Tesla that I'd been talking to on the financing piece and said, can we get this sorted out? He directed me to someone else at Tesla, who I then spoke to. Basically, they said it's not possible to do. I looked into it, and while it wasn't worth, cancelling my order to start again with a referral code and losing my £100 deposit, while the free miles aren't worth quite that much, they are still very nice to have. I was gutted I'd missed out on them. So, one tip, do use a referral code. Whether you use mine, which is in the description, or someone else's, please just remember to use one. Don't get overexcited like I did. The referral code itself is a link. You don't add in a code anywhere. You click the link and then you make your order from that link. So yeah, that'll be a lesson to you. Okay, so as I said, that was on a Tuesday. I then spent the next week and a bit getting excited and basically ordering stuff to go with my brand new Tesla. I ordered some new floor mats, some mats for the trunk and boot, a center console wrap, a USB stick for recording Sentry mode, a wireless charger, and then some just bits and bobs for the glove compartment, wipes, etc. I also started looking into getting my insurance sorted and getting a charging point installed at home. Again, I won't go into loads of detail on those 2 points in this video. Basically, I went to Direct Line for my car insurance, and for my at-home charger, I picked one from EO. It was then the following Friday, so 1 week and 3 days after I'd placed my order, that I got a text and an email saying, you have been assigned a delivery date, and it is for a week on Monday. I knew I wasn't going to have my at-home charger installed in time. Well, that wasn't a big deal, but for everything else, I thought I was pretty much ready. It was then the following week when I got a call from Tesla just confirming the delivery date and to say that, we're doing a contactless delivery, so we're going to send you an email. Please sign this form to say that everything went fine on the delivery. They do actually ask you to sign this form and return it to them before you even get there. But it does say on the form it won't come into enactment until the day itself, until Tesla themselves have signed off on the delivery. So I signed that and sent it straight back. It was then the Friday before my delivery date, I got another call from Tesla saying, sorry, the car actually won't be available on Monday. It'll be Tuesday instead. Not the end of the world, but kind of disappointing when you have in your head that you're going to pick up this car on the Monday and then you get told you can't have it till the next day. So rather than 2 p.m. on the Monday, I got the appointment that was 10 a.m. on the Tuesday, which is the first appointment they had at Birmingham where I was going to pick it up. So when delivery day finally came around, I'd watched all Tesla's own tutorial videos, I'd read some of the manual, and I'd watched about a billion other YouTube videos on Tesla, on the Model 3. I was actually given a lift down to Birmingham. One thing in the Tesla account that they hadn't talked about was having proof of your car insurance. They said bring your driving licence, but they never mentioned the car insurance, and I wasn't sure if I would need to produce that when I got there. Because I'd only just got my insurance sorted out, I didn't actually have the paperwork through from Direct Line, and I'd not received the full email confirmation of it. I gave them a ring in the morning as I was on my way. They then sent me through a confirmation over email just in case I needed it. I didn't, but I had it just in case. So I arrived there soon after 9:30. I was super eager. I was the first one there. They had a desk set up outside the dealership with a couple of guys on there. I went up and said, I'm here to pick up my new Tesla. They were pretty surprised by the sounds of it. I think I was quite early. When they realised that I was there to take delivery of a new car, they very quickly found my key and said that they've got some paperwork to sort out, so in the meantime I could go and familiarise myself with the car, and they basically left me to it. I was quite happy by this point that I had watched all those tutorial videos and knew pretty much what I was doing in terms of getting in the car and checking things over, because they gave very little direction on that, which I think is fair enough for a contactless delivery. So I started by walking around the outside of the car, checking the paintwork, checking that the doors and things were properly aligned, just checking for any scuffs or anything. The outside of the car looked absolutely perfect, nothing wrong with it. Inside the car, I started testing the functionalities on the touchscreen. While I was doing this, I put my phone down into the phone holder section of the Tesla, and it started charging. Now, this was one of the things that I did not know Tesla had changed, that they have done now in the newest Model 3s, but it actually comes with wireless charging as default. So that wireless charger I bought is going to have to go back to Amazon because it is no longer needed. So following this, I lifted up the phone charger to have a look at the USB ports underneath, and this was the second thing that has changed and that may influence things that you buy for the car. Rather than the 2 USB ports that I've seen everywhere, there is a USB-C connection, which this wireless charger is already plugged into, and then one standard USB-A port. Obviously that's where you'll plug in your Sentry memory stick. This update to USB ports is also reflected in the back of the car, where there were previously 2 USB-A ports. There are now 2 USB-C ports. I mean, I think this is a good move. USB-C is the future. It's a much more advanced technology than the old USB-A ports, and technology in general is now coming with USB-C as standard. But it was just surprising to see. I'd not seen that in any videos anywhere, and it does change some of the things that I was going to buy. Back to the touchscreen, when I was clicking through the functionality, most of it was working as expected. I did notice that I couldn't connect to the internet. With the Model 3 long range, you do get 1 year of premium connectivity. That usually, after that period, that will be $9.99 a month. And it's basically 4G access for the car. The reason that I wasn't getting that straight away is because at that point, the car had not been marked as delivered, so it was not fully in my name, and therefore things like that hadn't been activated. Now, I probably sat in the car for a good half an hour at least, messing around with things, just checking over all the functionality, checking all the interiors. The only thing I found on the interior was on the passenger seat, there were 2 small black marks. Now, when the guy eventually came over and said, "Is everything all right? You can come and sign this paperwork now if you want," I did mention it to him. He straight away got something to try and clean these marks off the seats. They weren't coming off, so he said, "I'm going to drive this round to the detailers and just see they've got some better stuff to get marks off seats." He came back about 5 minutes later and said, "Sorry, they can't get these off either. We're going to log it as a issue with the car, so it's on our system." I now have the option to book in a service to get that sorted out. However, we're talking about 2 small black marks here that are pretty inconspicuous. On a 3-year lease where I'm going to give the car back at the end, I'm not overly fussy about that sort of thing. So I might see if I can get it done if I need to go in for a service for something else, but otherwise I think I'm probably just going to leave that as it is. So now all that was left to do was to sign the paperwork. It was really only at this point that other people had started arriving to take delivery of their cars, so there was a slight queue forming, but I was already at the front of the queue, so I could sign my paperwork. And then effectively, they just said to me, "Feel free to leave whenever you want." They checked my driving licence, they did check that. They didn't ask for insurance, they didn't ask for anything else. So start to finish, I was at the Tesla dealership for probably about 90 minutes. Obviously I arrived early, I spent quite a long time with the car. The actual handover process itself, once they got the documents, was really quick and very easy. And they basically said, spend as long as you want, drive off when you're ready. If you've got any questions, come back to us and let us know. They were really helpful, and they made everything really easy. The drive home took me just over an hour. It was amazing. I got to try out the traffic aware cruise control, the auto steer. Eventually, when I got very close to home, I got to give the 0-60 a good try. It blew me away. The whole thing blew me away. When I got home, I plugged it in old school to a 3-pin connector in our kitchen. Now, when I picked it up, it was at 48%. I got it home on about 21%. And when I plugged it in, its estimated time to full charge, or to 90%, I think it was set at, was about 24 hours. So, suffice to say, that's not the method I will be using going forward. It's very much a make-do at the moment, but it works fine. And that pretty much wraps things up. That's how my whole process went, from ordering to the bit in between to picking it up on delivery day. I'm sure there are things I've missed, so if you do have any specific questions, I will answer all comments. I hope you found this helpful. If you have, please drop a like on the video below. and I look forward to putting together some more content once I've had a bit more experience in driving the car. Catch you later.